Welcome to People2People's presentation here at the Career Forum. Might I say it's fantastic to be able to have a seminar for EAs and PAs. I really think this is a very overlooked group of professionals, and it's fantastic that we can actually meet a lot of PAs and EAs here today and actually have your profession recognised for all the hard work you do, often behind the scenes with sometimes little or no praise. Now, People2People recruit PAs and EAs, and what I'm here to do is have a chat to you about the fact that the way you get a job has changed. What we're going to be talking about today is all the various ways that options that you've got and how to manage yourself and your recruiters through the 21st century. Printed media versus internet, both have their place. Both are areas that you will look at when you're looking for a new position. One thing about it, in the old days every job was advertised. These days it's the tip of the iceberg. A lot of the internet advertising is just a tip of what's out there. It's not everything that's available. We're in a very strong economy. There's a lot of positions available out there in the market, and physically you are not able to advertise every one of them. Even now when you go online to have a look at internet advertising, you can be overwhelmed by how many jobs are actually out there. All the roles that were advertised by companies such as the classified ads, remember those? Well, they're pretty much gone these days, and by a small minority of recruiters are now being done online. Companies still do their own online advertising, but what we're actually finding is they're finding it too labour intensive. So what you'll find is that they are outsourcing their advertising to a third-party supplier like a recruitment organisation. You will send your resume most commonly on an email. Cover letters are great, but you'll find that due to the fast speed of so many applications coming through, a very long cover letter may not be read as much as it may have been in days gone by. Internet advertising, the way you go about getting a job now, it's faster. The expectations are higher from us as much as from yourself, and within a shorter time frame. You are also more accessible due to the fact that you have mobile phones and you have emails. You expect more from us, for us to get back to you quickly, and you are very accessible. So if you are looking at multiple roles with multiple companies and multiple recruiters, you're getting multiple messages. And with text, it's wonderful, but text, mobile phones and email, you will feel a little bombarded. The same role can be advertised multiple times. It can be advertised by 2 and 3 recruiters. Exclusivity is not very common. And secondly, it can be advertised by the company itself. So if you think a job looks the same in a couple of different places, it probably is. Also, the fact that when you are looking at going for your job interviews, or when you are researching whether you're even interested in being put forward for a position, make sure you do your homework. Control the process. Now, this is probably the area you're probably going to be most interested in, about how to manage your recruiter in the recruitment process. The fact of life is the majority of roles these days are outsourced to someone like me. Your permission is essential. Once you've been briefed, for you to be considered for a role, you must have your permission asked for and granted before you allow your details to be put forward. It's the way it always should have been done, ethically, but now we have something called privacy legislation. Have you people heard of that? So, privacy legislation. If you have someone ring you to say, Trish, there's actually the XYZ company really interested in getting your, seeing you for an interview. And you'll say, but I haven't heard of them before. You want to know why they've got a copy of your resume and why they're interested. That's great, they want to see you, don't get me wrong. But if that's the first time you've heard of them, I would want to know why, okay? You cannot make an informed decision about whether you are even interested in spending the next 3 to 5 years of your life turning up every day if you don't even know the name of the organisation. I cannot stress that enough. And unfortunately, it goes on all the time. You are in charge of this process, and it's not who has your resume in somebody's inbox first for you to be considered at that organisation. It's up to you who you want to represent you. You need to make an informed decision if you're interested in a particular position. Now, unfortunately, out there, you need to make sure that if you are briefed on a position, that you have the name of the organisation and where it's located, for you to actually go out, be interested in having your details put forward for an interview. I do know that some people don't do that for fear of competition, but frankly, you know, I've been a job seeker too. I need to know, well, my boss's husband or wife could work for that organisation, and that could get a bit sticky. I need to know where it's located, and I need to know whether I'm actually going to be interested in working for that organisation. So that's what I would make sure that you do, get the name of the organisation. The reason people don't give you the name of the company is they're scared their competitors are going to jump all over the job, and that's the reason for it. It's not in your interest, so make sure you get the name of the company. I can't stress that more. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. So if you think it's paying about another 25% on what top of you're getting now, the hours are shorter, all these, I'd be asking a few questions. If it is going to be paying a premium of 25%, say, on what you're earning at the moment, has it been a role that two people have been doing previously and now they want one person to do it and they're going to pay them that teeny bit more? Is it the fact that there's been a revolving door in that organisation and they can't keep anybody in the role? Just ask some questions. It may be great, but just ask lots of questions. Now, at the end of the recruitment process, before you tender your resignation anywhere, make sure you have your contract, it's in writing and it's been signed. If the contract's taking a long time to come to you and you've given your verbal acceptance, they will have to wait before you can give your notice, because you must put it in writing. I would not resign from a position unless I had a contract in writing, and neither should you. Are we listening? Do we get it? Are we listening to what you want? Don't be afraid to say, Manda, you're right off the track. I'm not remotely interested, and I'll say why. But hopefully when we've met in the interview initially, we have been going through your objectives and what you're looking for out in the marketplace. And then I'll repeat back the sort of things we discussed. Now, things might have changed in your world, that's fine. Make sure we're listening. Do we get it? Do we understand what you want? Can I say in our own defence, we're not mind readers. I didn't do mind reading 101 at uni. Sometimes people will then accept a role and then say, oh, by the way, I've got 6 weeks annual leave and I start in 2 weeks' time. Now, we can ask as many questions, but there's some that you need to volunteer. So we're not mind readers either, but we need to listen. If you're not happy, no one is going to be happy. The potential employer, our relationship with our organisations we deal with, our reputation, you're going to tell your mates. So are we listening and do we get it? And if you're not satisfied, tell them to repeat back what you discussed in your interview. By the way, if you have a 10-minute interview with a recruitment consultant, they're not worth working with. If someone can't interview you for 40 to 45 minutes when you give up your time, rearrange the childcare, family, work, they're not worth seeing. There's no such thing as a 10-minute interview, in my opinion. Do you want the quick fix? Or do you want a business relationship? Now, I wish we could help all the people all the time. I mean, in a perfect world, that'd be great. But the reality is we can't. But you're trying to fulfil people's expectations as best you can. But we're not about the quick fix. We're not on the working holiday out from the UK and then we're going to go back there. I mean, you EAs and PAs also have support staff you recruit for. If you've been happy with how you've been treated in the recruitment process, or even if we weren't able to, the person you've chosen has not been able to secure you're the position, it was with someone else, you might still have enjoyed the experience of a particular recruiter. And so I haven't filled some jobs really well, meaning that the candidate was really happy with what I did, and not all of them are, but they were very happy. And so they've actually come back to me when they've needed staff or referred a friend. I mean, that's the greatest compliment anyone can give you if someone has referred someone to you. So are you after a quick fix or are you after a business relationship? Always remember, with a recruitment consultancy, it's a free service to you. If you're not happy, go elsewhere. It's a free service. So they're just a few ideas of what's happening out there in the marketplace of the 21st century in recruitment land. It's about having your needs met. It's about being listened to, being represented properly, you being informed about what you're looking for, and also about a longer term business relationship as well, not the quick fix.
Well, thank you very much for listening, and good luck with your job search. Thank you.